I truly believe that books have the power to change anyone's financial life because I'm proof of it. So that's why today I'm going to share with you my top 10 personal finance books of all time. Hi, I'm Nicole, one half of the Wealth Twins. And the books I'm going to share with you today will not only teach you how to make money, they will teach you how to keep it. Because guess what? I read a book a week and I'm passionate about helping others grow their money. So if you're interested in learning about personal finance books that go beyond I Will Teach You How to Be Rich, The 4-Hour Workweek, or Think and Grow Rich, then keep watching this video because I'm sure you're going to find out about a book that you may have never heard about before, but one that you should definitely make time to read. So with that, let's get started with the first. The first book on the list is The 1 Minute Millionaire by Mark Victor Hansen and Robert G. Allen. Now, if you don't know who these guys are, they're serial multimillionaire entrepreneurs. And more people might know Mark Victor Hansen because he's one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul. But Robert G. Allen is also famous in his own right because he wrote the book No Money Down, where you can learn how to get and buy real estate with no money down. These two authors teamed up because they're on a mission to make 1 million millionaires, and they want to do it the enlightened way. Now, their idea of the enlightened way is to teach people how to make money by helping others. And they do it through this book in two different ways. They share their principles, their habits, their tips and their strategies, but they use the other half of the book to actually tell their tips and strategies and their principles through story format. They have a whole story about a mother named Michelle who's trying to get her children back. In order for her to get her children back, she has to be able to make $1 million in 90 days. Now, I don't want to tell you the whole story because I would like you to read it, but trust me, it reads like a mystery and a thriller, and it's great for anyone who wants the little guy to win. Now, if you're a fan of the 4-Hour Workweek, then you definitely will be a fan of this book because I believe that this was the inspiration Tim Ferriss had in order to create that book, The 4-Hour Workweek. This book is great for anyone who has a dream of becoming a millionaire but just doesn't know where to start. Now, number 2 on the list is actually a book that also talks about the personal power you might have in order to become a millionaire and also uses stories to get their point across. This book that I'm talking about is The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon teaches sound money principles from the point of view of you being an audience member listening to an elder who was actually born poor but became the richest person in Babylon by following certain principles. 1. Never getting into debt, learning how to save money, learning how to work hard for money, and also learning how to invest money. Now, there's other things that the book goes into, but what's important to note is that everything that the book talks about in terms of how to be a good steward with money is just as important today as it was when the book was written back in 1926. Now, another book that is also oldie but goodie and is actually over 200 years old is my third book. That is The Way to Wealth by Benjamin Franklin. Now, I don't know how many people know, but Benjamin Franklin was a beast when it came to money management, as well as a beast in every other area in his life. Truthfully, today, I believe if he was still alive, he would be a billionaire and maybe probably one of the richest men alive. If you don't think he could be one of the richest men in the world, then you don't know how many people actually believed in the teachings of Ben Franklin. Charlie Munger is one of those that counts Ben Franklin as one of his idols, all-time idols when it comes to money. And if you don't know who Charlie Munger is, he's actually Warren Buffett's co-founder of Berkshire Hathaway. Now, when it comes to Ben Franklin Ways to Wealth, this book is quotable from the first page to the last page. And if you get it on audiobook, it's actually only about 20 minutes long, so it's a very short read. Some of the lines he has in the book are, "It's better to go to bed hungry than wake up in debt. A small hole can sink a big ship. A penny saved is a penny earned." These all came from The Way to Wealth. Way to Wealth may be over 200 years old, but I'm telling you, it's a timeless book, and there's a reason why Ben Franklin is on the $100 bill, because this man knew a lot about money. Now, since we're on the subject of wealth, the next book that actually had an impact on my life would be The 7 Strategies of Wealth and Happiness by Jim Rohn. Now, if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, Jim Rohn was actually Tony Robbins' mentor. He's great when it comes to self-help, but he's also great when it comes to learning how to take care of your money and goal setting. The main takeaways from this book is that in order for you to build wealth and to be happy, you have to make a goal, be clear on your goal, and also know your why. This is not a book about theory. This book is all about action. He's not only going to get you to set 1-year goals, he's going to get you to set 3, 5, and 10-year goals. So if you don't know how to set goals and you don't know why you need goals, please check that book out. You're going to love it. Another great actionable book that you can use for personal finance would be the book You Need a Budget by Jesse Meacham. Now, if you don't know about You Need a Budget, or YNAB for short, it's a popular budgeting app that has a cult-like following. If you read the book before using the app, you will know why. If there was one book I could recommend about budgeting, it would be this book, You Need a Budget. Read that book, learn why a budget is important and how it is actually about freedom and not about constraints. This book will make you a believer in budgets, and not only that, it will help you set up a budget that you can follow and also one that's going to be best to meet your needs. Now, if you're a business owner, you also need a budget, and the best book that I found for that would be Profit First from Michael Michalowicz. I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong, but still, Profit First is a great book. This book teaches business owners how to break up their bank account into 5 different sections so that you make sure that you're never broke, and also that you're not running a business that you only talk about revenue, but you know exactly how much you have in profit. This book is meant for you to actually see the fruits of the hard work you do as an entrepreneur or as a business owner. Many people work so hard but don't know where the money actually goes. This book will help you set up buckets for your business to make sure all the areas in terms of finance for your business is covered, and that you will have some profit in your pocket and not worry about how could I have done all this hard work and have nothing to show for it. If you are a business owner and you want to see your bank account reflect the amount of hard work that you put into your business, get the book Profit First. Now, this wouldn't be a Wealth Twins list if it did not contain any investing books. Now, if you want to know about profit, a book that you should read if you're into stock picking would be One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch was one of the money managers for the Magellan Fund that was ran by Fidelity. And he breaks down his knowledge of investing in this book, One Up on Wall Street. In the book, he explains how the everyday person can probably even have an advantage over professional analysts and researchers of stock. Just looking around you and being a consumer can allow you to have an upper hand when it comes to investing in companies. And with that knowledge, you may be even able to buy what he calls a 10-bagger. Now, what that is basically finding a stock that's a diamond in the rough. Peter Lynch is all about growth stocks. And he says that anyone has the potential to pick a diamond in the rough if they know what they're looking for and they actually use their eyes as a consumer and buy things that they understand. You can beat the analysts on Wall Street because you're closer to the situation. Now, when it comes to single stocks, especially growth stocks, it is very risky. However, if you're willing to put some money aside and you try to use the methods that he discussed in the book, who knows, you might end up finding a 10-bagger. So check out that book and give yourself a chance. Just because someone works on Wall Street doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to find a great stock as well. Now, when it comes to investing opportunities, another book, which is not really a book, I would say, but definitely had a big impact on my life, and it could be considered personal finance, would be the Satoshi Nakamoto White Papers for Bitcoin. It's only 9 pages, but when I read it, it was a groundbreaking technology. It was something that was thrilling to understand, and the potential for Bitcoin, when you read the white paper, you can understand why so many people started flocking to it. If you would like to understand why people are so in love with Bitcoin, read the reason why it came about. Learn the history about Bitcoin and why it was created in the first place. And you can do that by just looking online at the Satoshi Nakamoto White Paper for Bitcoin. Now, you might say to yourself, why would a wealth twin that talks about index funds all the time actually start talking about cryptocurrency? Well, it's not because I'm telling you I'm in support of or against cryptocurrency. It's because when it comes to, I'm a contrarian thinker, and I believe that you should always understand what's going on around you and then make the decision if that's something you want to invest in or not. I had to learn about cryptocurrency to see if it was something I was interested in not in investing in. It's not just about Bitcoin, but it's also about the blockchain. Now, I know Bitcoin and the blockchain get a lot of flack, but if you read the white paper, you might get a different opinion of where the author was what he was actually trying to do when he created Bitcoin and the blockchain. Now, another book that might get a lot of flack from people who never read it, but is totally opposite from cryptocurrency, would be the book Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. Now, you might have heard of the term latte factor, which Ramit Sethi loves to go after when he talks about in his book, I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. But don't let the words latte factor deter you from understanding what he was meaning when it came to money management. One of the key takeaways I took from that book is that you could pay off your mortgage at least 7 years earlier just by making the same amount of payments, but just changing the scheduling of the payment. So definitely look at that book, because the things that he talks about the book will make you see that small changes could definitely make a big impact. Another book that shows you how behavior can affect your wealth would be The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book is a great book because not only does it tell you basic principles of how we're just not rational with money and how you can use principles to become more rational with money, but it also gives stories and data to illustrate every point that's made in that book. This is one of the few books that I've ever read that can make a comparison between the power of compounding and the Ice Age, or tell you the reason why that you might think you want an expensive car like a Ferrari, but what will happen to you if you actually do buy a car. Here's a hint. No one actually cares about you or you trying to impress them. They only care about your car. So if you want to learn sound money principles, how to invest your money, how to also save your money, how to protect your money, along with just how to make better money decisions, check out The Psychology of Money. Although it's a relatively new book, I definitely believe that this book is going to become a classic because there's so many points and so many great examples and how he illustrates his point that this book is going to be recommended for years to come. Comment below to tell me which book you think you like best off my list. Also, feel free to comment below to let me know of any books you think I should read next. As they say, personal finance is personal. However, I think I've given a good enough mix of books that anyone can use to help them in their financial journey. If you found this video helpful and you want to learn more about the Wealth Twins, check the links below in the description. Until then, see you in the next video.